Hey everyone, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors. Well, this next story is, I guess, really intended for first time hunters, novice hunters, and maybe some of us who just want to get a reminder from time to time. We're talking about what happens after the shot. You've been out all day, you see the game that you are looking to take home for dinner, and you make a good shot. But the animal doesn't drop where you ended up shooting it. It moves off into the bush. What should be your next steps? Well, to help answer some of those questions, a real pleasure to be joined by Todd Zimmerling. Todd's a professional biologist. He's also the president and CEO of the Alberta Conservation Association and a seasoned hunter. And Todd is going to walk us through some of the steps that we should be taking into account before we leave the area that we took our shot from.
It's not just novices. Everybody feels that excitement. You feel the adrenaline rush as you're sneaking up on an animal doing a spot and stalk, or if you're in a tree stand, you see it coming through the bush and you're just waiting for it to get there. You definitely feel that adrenaline rush, and overcoming that is definitely a big part of being successful at finding and retrieving your animal. If it hasn't dropped right there in front of you, which is what everybody's hoping for, and if you don't see it drop, then you really have to just stand back for a second, relax, and just wait. You can be firm in your mind that you hit it in the vitals, but you don't know for sure. You're pretty sure, but you never know 100%. You just never know what's going on with that shot. So giving it some time to make sure that it can expire wherever it is bedded down is vital. And that's one thing you'll find if you've hit an animal that's been hit, they will usually wander off into some bush and they'll lay down, or some brush, someplace that's got some cover, and they'll lay down there and they'll expire right there. But if you chase after them right away, even if it's, let's say, a lung shot, which, they might be gone within a minute or two, you go after them right away, they may jump up and they may take off another 100 meters on you. Well, I think most people would say that if you're doing an archery hunt and you didn't see the animal go down, or you didn't hear the animal go down, so that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're in a bush like this, you might very well hear the animal go through the bush and you'll hear a crash. And that'll be the animal falling over, dead in the bush. So you can feel fairly confident it's done. But usually if you don't have those signs, most people will wait a half hour, given that you have a half hour. Now, if 15 minutes left in legal light, you want to have enough light to be able to find the animal and track the animal if you need to. But certainly I would normally give it about a half hour if I haven't heard or seen the animal go down itself. So let's say you've assumed you made a good shot, you assume the animal is now dead. That's oftentimes when people let their guard down and they start talking with their buddy loudly. Maybe they're hooting and hollering because they're that excited. And they go tromping into the bush without thinking about it. And that's where you can end up losing an animal. Turns out you're wrong. They weren't completely done. You've pushed the animal. You should still be approaching the animal as if it might still jump up on you. So you're walking slowly along. You're looking for signs as you're going. Obviously, constantly looking ahead. There might be blood here, but the animal isn't there. It's clearly ahead of you someplace. So where might it be? Look for places where it may have bed down. If there's maybe a lower depression with some thicker brush, it might have gone in there. Those kinds of things. So take your time, stay quiet as if you're still hunting, walk along and find the animal. And I guess the other thing I would stress is make sure you're seeing your animal. There are certainly many cases where people are going out on an animal. Maybe you shot a moose, you're pretty sure it's down, but as you're approaching into where you think that moose is, oh, there's another moose. It must be my moose. I thought I hit him, I thought he was down, but he's not, so I'm going to shoot him again. Be really careful, because sometimes that's just another moose. It's not your moose. So you got to make sure you're watching for your animal. If that second animal doesn't show signs of being shot, you shouldn't be shooting it. You should be making sure you're on the right animal and making sure you're not accidentally harvesting a second one. So there's some things to be aware of in the in what will certainly be the excitement of it, keep your head clear and make sure you know what you're doing.
Well, some sound advice for all hunters to take to heart who may get caught up in the excitement of the moment. Here's hoping you can fill your freezer this fall.